Welcome into ATB at the buzzer. We are online at atbshow.com. You can go there and find all the links. That's where you're going to see the social mediums as they were, riddled with Rubbish Shoes' face. And he doesn't even have it on. You just showed it to us. Didn't get it at Modell's. I don't believe they're closed. He claims they are. I'm just kidding. Of course they are. But I think there's like a double secret knock somewhere on Lansdowne where you can still, right? Like the guy that worked there his whole life. He's like, I'm not letting the dream die. He's still got a box of hats. Rubbish Shoes. Let me see the hat. Because you got it.
He's checking the socials.
Yeah. Little Shoes went to Richard's Athletic Apparel on the Cape and tracked one down because they're sold out almost everywhere. And I got to be honest, it's growing on me. It's one of the least offensive championship hats in the history of New Era. And I love New Era, but they've got some poorly constructed, too much going on championship hats. I'll leave it right there. Leave it right there. All right. Rubbish Shoes. Before we get into it, you know what? He's their employee. I'm going to do it. Rubbish Shoes and his colonoscopy brought to you by our dear friends Joe and Leslie.
Right.
Yeah, at AAA Work Trucks. If it's in, on, or pooping behind a truck, it's probably brought to you by them. And so what are we doing tomorrow while your innards are in absolute mayhem? Will you be in one of their vehicles? Or are you in the stirrups all day tomorrow, just C-rapping all over somebody's poor doctor's office? What's happening? What are you doing?
I have the next 2 days off. just took Friday off because.
Did you drink the stuff yet or no?
That's amazing.
The first 12 tablets are down.
Oh
my God!
We might lose you. This is magic.
It's
16 ounces of water and 12 tablets down.
Wow. How long ago? Like 4 minutes ago?
Yep.
Oh, wow.
Is Steph getting a hotel room? What's happening? What is she doing? Asking for a friend.
She said she's not going to drink any water tonight, so she doesn't have to use the bathroom.
Yeah. See, this should have been roped off. This should have been. What are you drinking there? Is that just straight up? That's
Gatorade.
Not a sponsor yet. All right. Just checking.
Wow. So you might have to tap out, right? Halfway through the show?
We'll see.
I didn't. So there's no time frame here. Like the volcano is active right now. We have no idea.
That's right.
Mount St. Rubbish Shoes. Oh no.
Yes,
my first time. So you're doing it with me.
No, we're
so
not.
Excited.
No, we're not.
Thank God I'm in Connecticut.
Look at
I don't want to be on the show anymore.
That's
Scotty. No.
You're safe, Scotty. You're in Maine. You're safe.
I'm not far enough. I need to be
just coming too because
seriously.
I always jump into the green room chat, and I always double check to see who's playing tonight. And Scotty says in, Adam's just like 99%. I'm good.
Yep.
I'm senile enough. I should check in to remind me that I'm good. And then Rubbish Shoes put in with the little squiggly, and I didn't even correlate it at that point.
Yeah, like the poop emoji. I thought you were like in shit. Like, are you in
That's
shit?
What I thought too.
Like,
I didn't know what that was going
like
on.
You in some shit? Like you in?
No, he's where we are in the process right now.
Oh my!
Yeah, it's all moving right now. All right. Well,
how are you feeling? Are you feeling good? Are you feeling?
I'm fast so good.
Loose?
I'm hungry because I haven't had anything to eat since dinner last night.
See, and here's the thing. Once you're done with the procedure, as it were, and I'm speaking as a doctor, I play one on the internet.
Of course.
Once you're done, then you rush, because then you're going to be hungry, you'll be done. The doctor gives you your blessing. The test results will come back. Chef's kiss, we trust and we pray as your friends. And then you're going to... There's got to be, from the medical community, a nutritionist has to step in at some point and probably advise some of the best practices on what to eat next, because you now have
steak dips.
Yeah, you now have Lafayette Road, Portsmouth, New Hampshire, water country. Like the slide is open. Whatever poor piece of sustenance you send into your system, she's coming out hot, right?
I don't think so.
You don't think so? I'm ruining Scotty's dinner. I ruined Scotty's beer.
So everyone I talked to said that
I drink a beer named Duck here.
they tell you to eat something light after, and everyone I talked to said nope, they've gone all in and just gorged themselves after. So yeah,
what's the
we're
meal?
We're
What's
either
the
going
plan?
to the Dream Diner or the Red Arrow Diner. Depends if I want breakfast or lunch.
Oh, I thought you might go to. I thought you were talking about a Chinese food restaurant. I was going to say that.
Yeah, see, 4,000%.
Adam,
Go to
the
I
Red
thought you were
Arrow
talking about the
Diner.
Red Dragon.
at the Red Arrow Diner, you might want to block your ears. They have the Trump Tower burger.
Ew.
It's two
Sounds
grilled
horrible.
cheeses with a cheeseburger and deep fried macaroni and cheese in between.
Sounds absolutely.
And
And you might
It's-
ask, is
it's
it white
amazing.
cheese or yellow cheese? It's orange cheese.
Yes, it is orange. It's myself and Tyler have taken one down each. Yeah. In the past.
Is that the plan after the colonoscopy happens?
Depends if I feel like
A lot of
breakfast
dairy.
or lunch.
So,
a
yeah,
lot.
really bind yourself right back up.
Active in the chat. Yeah, we got to
Wow.
get. Yeah, we might have to set up a trail cam. I just want to. Yeah.
No,
No.
no, we should not.
Scotty's
Oh, my
leaving the
God.
show.
Oh,
Jesus Christ.
Oh my God. Anyway, well, we burnt about 8 minutes on your colon, which is delightful. Speaking of things that stink and nobody wants to talk about, do we have a Red Sox update?
Hey, they don't stink, man. They're like hottest team in the
Yeah,
AL East.
they're,
I got a text early this morning. Cheryl was like, "Be nice. They're doing well. They're doing well."
they're doing well.
Yeah, they're doing well.
Yeah, but she's on season 15 of the Red Sox. she's not on the current season.
Season 15, like 1953. That's
Yeah,
not even that. It's actually more like the Patriots. But
Oh, yeah, yeah.
so
What-
They're
they're
doing great, Timmy. Be nice.
Yeah,
They're
be
they're
nice.
tied with the Kansas City Royals for the last playoff spot at the moment.
yep,
Wow.
that's
Last
awesome.
wild card spot.
But
I
to
think
me,
the
it's
Celtics being there rubbed off on them a little bit.
the best part about what I've seen so far. Thank you, Timmy. Is the fact like they're fun to watch. Like they're
Yes.
exciting. You know what I mean? They're fun. They're young. They're having fun. You know, when they're not throwing it all over the field. But I feel like
Sure.
they've cleaned up a lot of the errors that were seeing. We saw last year, especially.
Mhm.
And even a bit in April. But they're fun, man. They're fun to watch. You know, their pitching staff is way better than anyone thought coming in. I mean, Christ, Tanner Houck still has the best ERA in baseball.
Well,
Or
Bayo
second-
hasn't been so hot this year. He has a winning record, but a lot of times he won last week in Toronto. I think like 6-5. Like they're scoring runs for him. They didn't
Yep.
last night. But
No. No, but that was going to happen at some point. I mean, you know, Connor Wong is playing out of his mind. I missed if his hit streak continued last night or if it stopped. But they're just fun. It's a fun team to watch. I've really enjoyed it. Again, thank you, Timmy, to start watching them. You know, and it's been great. It's been great. It's a cool team. And I'm legitimately rooting. Not that I was never rooting for the Red Sox, but I'm like rooting for them. I'd love to see them in the wild card, make some noise. You know what I mean? That'd be fun.
So the question is, how did this happen? Because you guys were talking about how horrible they were just like 2 weeks ago. So I don't understand.
And the thing is that 2 weeks ago they went on this. So going into that week they were playing the Phillies and the Yankees, who were the two best teams in baseball at the time, which they still are. The Yankees have kind of gone on a little bit of a slide, but they beat the Phillies 2-1. They beat the Yankees 2-1. They swept the Blue Jays 3 games. They beat the Reds 2-1, and they just split with Blue Jays 1 game each, and tonight's the rubber match tonight. So they've won. They split against the White Sox 2-2, and since then they've won every series, which is 4 in a row they've won.
Yep. Yeah, and it's a fun brand of baseball, where before it was very station to station kind of a type of team. They're just almost anybody gets on base, they're running.
They have a lot of speed. Even like Connor Wong's a catcher, but he's like one of their fastest players on the team.
Yeah,
they have
so it's a lot of
three legit all-star candidates right now, and Jarren Duran, Connor Wong, and Tanner Houck.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Impressive.
I just realized
talked about the Red Sox since the beginning of the year, right there. By the way.
Yeah. I'm excited they haven't ruined my summer yet.
Doing well.
Oh, I do.
Rubber
Speaking
shoes at the
speaking
start
about summer,
Yeah.
I have some bad news.
Oh.
The
gotta
the
leave to go to the
strawberry
bathroom?
float is dead.
Oh.
What?
Did you fill it with the wrong thing?
No, when we were with the tornado warnings
Is that
on
the
Sunday, we
comfy
were
one, or
making sure everything was tied down and stashed, and in the process of putting it away somewhere safe where it wouldn't blow away, it got cut open.
Oh no,
that's too bad.
Yeah.
So
What are you getting now? A grape one?
So I had to ride on the popcorn on Sunday.
Oh, sounds like a personal issue. Jesus.
Which led to the colonoscopy.
Yeah.
We have a root cause analysis, and we've identified
That's good
it.
right there.
Oh my God.
So Timmy,
my
I'm
God.
behind by 3 years. You're supposed to do it starting at 50. So Timmy, have you had one yet? Because you're only a year behind me.
The Moon River. I've never had the Moon River. No, I have not. I have not. I've not done that
was
yet.
the nickname. I didn't know. That was
Well,
the
it's a
nickname.
scene from Fletch. If you ever go see the movie Fletch, there's a scene where the doctor is checking his different. His doctor is checking his prostate.
And he
It's
sings,
getting
says, Moon
yes, Moon
River.
River. Yeah. So there's that.
Gotcha.
No, Janina. Every time this week, which took a dark turn, pun intended. Every time we get on this topic, Janina's like, just get the Cologuard box, poop in the box. I don't want to poop in a box, and then send it to somebody. Like,
So I got a good story about that.
Can you imagine working there? Like every day, just
That'd be the worst.
every day is like a terrorist attack. Yeah. Your job. You work in the goddamn mailroom at Cologuard.
One of my friends.
What'd you do today? I was up to it. I was up to my neck in shit, literally. Yeah. Just opening
One of my
up
friends
specimens.
did that.
Pays minimum wage though.
Box. He brought the box to ship it to UPS, and the girl at UPS scans the box and just throws it. He goes, "You literally just threw my shit."
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus.
Nope.
So
But,
you won't poop in a box, and you won't go do what
I'm not
Rubber
saying
Shoes
I
is
won't
doing.
go. I just
full
haven't done it. Haven't done it. We're gonna there'll be a season 2. Cheryl can slide that in after season 15 of the Red Sox. It's supposed to be 40. 40 is supposed to have a whole team back
I thought
there
it was
hammering
45.
away.
I thought the new age it was 50. Now I thought the new age was 45. I'm with that.
That's what I thought too.
Because I'm 1 year.
I have
off.
to check with my doctor now. Yeah.
Firefighters, it's 40, so I'm a little behind.
Oh, it's different for firefighters?
Yeah, because we have a accelerated rate of people that die of cancer in the fire service.
Oh, okay.
That tracks.
It's like off the charts percentage wise that firefighters that get cancer.
Oh,
Yeah.
I didn't know that. That's crazy. I didn't know
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. So yeah. It was already in the family, so
Yeah.
now will be a little more.
Well, we'll have a Fenway update next week and a Pipeway update from Rubber Shoes next week. All of that. And God willing, everything's still doing well. Be nice. They're doing well. Draft tonight and tomorrow night. Yes. Draft tonight and tomorrow night.
Tonight
Yeah,
and
it's so
tomorrow. I
stupid.
think it's 8:00 tonight and 3
It's gonna be a snooze
tomorrow, I
fest.
think I saw.
They're going to get it over with. So what do we have? We have pick 30 and pick 52. Does that sound right?
54, 52, 54, something like that. Yeah.
Okay. Nonetheless, there was a throwaway interview that I caught yesterday, I think, with Brad. I mean, he's like, we're going to pick a couple of guys. If they crack the roster, it's a miracle. They're not really talking about doing anything. There's and I asked you guys a couple of weeks ago, and across the board, you're all like, nothing's going to happen during the offseason. No changes. People are going to get signed. We know, we're gonna keep the band together. What do you think is going to be? Is there anything exciting tonight? Is there a reason to watch? I mean, you're going to watch the draft. Tell me, Scotty, why should I watch the draft tonight?
I mean, outside of the Celtics, I mean, the Celtics I don't think will be very active. Mm-hmm. So here's a couple of things. One, you're going to hear the word apron, second apron or apron two or whatever they're calling it. That's going to come up a lot. That's basically the collective bargaining agreement basically is coming up. And there's a lot of changes going on. Now, there's going to be changes where, yes, your salary cap will increase. However, there's going to be other changes where draft picks, for example, where the Knicks just dumped a bunch of draft picks to get Mikal Bridges, they won't be able to do necessarily that. Like I think it's either 5 years or 7 years away from that current draft, you will not be able to trade that draft pick. I'm pretty sure it's 5. So you're not going to be able to trade future draft capital the way that teams have been in recent years. That's just one of many different changes that you're going to see in the upcoming CBA. The other part of it is with the big money that is coming in, how that money is going to be allocated is still up for grabs. So you're going to hear a lot of second apron talk, and that's what I think Brad had mentioned it too. I don't know if from a Celtics fan perspective, I don't think you're going to see much. The talk really is the kid from Creighton, Drew. No, not Drew, Baylor something, Shyman, whatever. I can't pronounce his last name anyway, but he's like a guard and a wing type of player. But he's polished. He's the guy that you'll probably see at 30th. At least that's the consensus right now. But I mean, everyone's locked in. The big 6 are locked in. Big 6, big 7 are locked in right now for the Celtics. But if you're looking at it from a non-Celtics perspective, there's going to be a ton of talk with Houston. I could see Houston potentially making some moves tonight. They have a ton of draft picks for the next couple of years that they could potentially give up. Obviously, KD's been, Kevin Durant's been a big topic of conversation with them over the last 24 to 48 hours that they're looking to bring him on. Obviously, he just got to Phoenix, and they're breaking up that band apparently right away with him and Booker. And then it'll be interesting to see this is again from like a basketball fan perspective, who does go first. So I kind of joked in our group text like this could be the worst draft since 2000 because there is no slam dunk here, right? There is no slam dunk. There's there's some good players, right? There's some really good players, but there's nobody that's like, holy shit, you're Wemby, right? There is no Wembanyama. There's none of these guys that are out there. Zachary, what's his name? Zachary Rizesha.
Oh, I think very good.
Thank you. Yeah. He's the French player. He's good. I think he's going to be a talented player. You'll see him go top. You'll see actually a lot of like players that were either international or G League Ignite team will probably be in the top 10. I think that's something that, from a basketball fan, you'll hear some names that you've never heard before. Actually, one kid that actually played at Brewster Academy in Wolfboro, New Hampshire.
Oh,
Mattis Bucelius. I know his last name, Bucelius. I can't pronounce his first name. It's just weird. It's like Mattis, I think, or something like that. He went to Brewster Academy before he went overseas and stuff, or he played for the Ignite. So it's not your typical draft in that regard. And like I said, there's not a lot of really top level talent, at least that I can see. So that's my thought. I mean, it's another reason to answer your question very long-winded. There's nothing else on for sports. So, you can watch the Red Sox game if you want, or you can watch the draft. It's like it lands for the NBA. This lands perfectly for them, right? These Stanley Cup Finals just ended. Obviously, the NBA Finals is over. Like it's literally just baseball. Olympics haven't started yet. This becomes appointment television for them, because they're not the NFL, right? Where the NFL can make it a 3 or 4 day thing. The NBA can't, even though they're making it 2 days, which I think is stupid. But and I'm not going to get into the brawny stuff. You guys can discuss that because I have zero fucks. I hate the kid, and I think honestly, if his last name wasn't James, he would not be in this. He would not be in any conversation on any draft board. First, second, 99th round. No. You know what I mean? You couldn't cut at USC clearly, and them showing pictures of him in a friggin' gym where a kid that's probably my height, 5'10", like trying to guard him and he's shooting jump shots and making them. Ooh, yay! Congratulations. I don't care. Like that stuff doesn't bother me. But there you go. There's my soapbox.
Appreciate that. And retort to there's nothing else on. I'm sure Adam and I can dig up a WNBA game.
Absolutely, 100%.
Yeah, we'll find one. We'll find one. That being said, I guess it's the only interesting thing that probably annoys purists like yourself is the fact that Bronny is in the conversation, and he's only in it for one reason. Do you, and I don't know if you have any fucks left over, but if you do, bring him to the conversation. Like, where do you logically see him landing in the next 48 hours? Does he, or is he going back and jumping into the transfer portal? Because that's still on the plate, right? That's still on the table, I should say, right?
1,000% it is. But you used the wrong word where you talked about logic. There is no logic here. Like, there's no.
Sure.
I don't honestly. So LeBron was supposed to make a decision yesterday. He did not around what he was going to do with his option that he has for LA. Everyone expected him to not, to say he's not going to sign, and then he'll re-sign later for a bit more money or whatever with LA and stay in LA. But I don't know if he's just holding on to that card to say, like I think Billy had said it too, and I think I heard Bill Simmons say it, and a few others have been like,
that's it. I got it from Bill Simmons.
Oh yeah, the kidnap him. Yeah, yep. I love it.
I heard it from you first, Billy.
I saw that too. Rubbish. I got it from Rubber Simmons and then Rubber Shoes in that order.
Right.
Yes. Yeah.
But he gets, someone drafts him and, which holds him hostage to trade to LA or whatever, stuff like that. So, for me, it's so infuriating. It's nepotism at its highest. And honestly, it shows to me, if he gets drafted in the first round, it's the biggest, there was a bigger, people were so upset. I know it's a different sport. But people were so upset that Tim Tebow got drafted in the first round because he wasn't a starting NFL quarterback, which he was, but he's not a first-round starting quarterback, right? And at best, he's probably a backup. But people were so pissed about that because he didn't have what it took to be a starting quarterback in the NFL. He couldn't throw the football the way that they can. Bronny James, at least he friggin' won championships. Bronny James scored 3 or 4 points a game at USC, averaged 1.3 rebounds at USC. He barely got on the court at USC, which, by the way, Pac-12, that's not the best conference in college basketball, not even close. Not even close. And now all of a sudden he's in the NBA draft and potentially a first-round pick. Get out of here. And if it does happen, there should be a shitstorm. And here's the last part.
There might be still.
I almost feel bad. Good call. I love it. Love that. Here for it. That was good. I almost feel bad for Bronny James because it's not really his fault who his father is. I almost feel bad for him. Almost. Because he's bringing a lot of it on himself.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Not as much as Angel Reese when she cries about, people are making me be mean to me, but I'm a dog. I don't know. Anyway, that's a whole different conversation. But it's just, to me, it's who runs the NBA? Is Adam Silver's going to allow this, right? Which he doesn't. He's not really breaking any rules. But is it really just LeBron's holding everybody by the nuts, for the next 2 nights or for the next 2 rounds of the NBA draft? It's really annoying.
Rubber Shoes, Adam, your 4 cents on any of it.
Well, first of all, I'm going to say no, not a single mention of my UConn boys. All right, Klingon, who potentially could go top 3, and Castle, who could be in the top 10. So, those guys are worthy prospects. I know they're not, Wemby, but they're, I think Klingon could be a contributor on a decent team. He's certainly a rim protector. Go ahead, Scott.
Word, right? No. Yeah. I'm not. That's the word. There's no. I don't think there's any stars here. A lot of great contributors. A A lot of good pieces, but there's nobody that's going to like turn your franchise around.
That's right. I mean, Klingon. I think Klingon could be. I mean, I don't think he's going to go to the Hawks. I think one of those French guys is going to go to the Hawks. But I think he would be actually kind of good on the Hawks because he'd give them a lot of size that they don't currently have. But who knows? Maybe they trade out of that first spot anyways. I'm not really sure. And Castle could be a contributor. He wouldn't be bad on the Spurs. Castle. I think the Spurs could use him paired up with Wemby because he's just like a solid basketball player. He's not. Thought we lost Scotty there for a second. He's just a solid basketball player that understands the game, plays within himself, doesn't really try to do too much, and I think he'd really fit with Wemby, who clearly would be the star on the Spurs. So we'll see.
So out of this crew, who's the get? Like, who is going first? Like, there's no stars. There's no. We definitely have a winner. Like, so who's going first? Who's the get?
I don't think there is one.
I don't know if there. I mean, there's no. But it depends on. It depends, right? So, if they do make a move, you have Alexandra Star, or Sar. No, there's no star. There's no T. Alexandra Sar. The kid I was just talking about, Zachary Richard, the French kid, Klingon, obviously. There are some good guys. I've heard Reed Shepard, the kid from Kentucky. He's thrown around a little bit.
Yeah.
But there's nobody there. Here's the thing, also, and I think he's going to be one and done, and I'm going to be fine with that, and I'm sure Billy will be too. People are probably just going to be like, I wonder actually how many people are going to suck for Cooper. Right? For Cooper Flag. The kid that's going to Duke from Maine, which obviously bias, but the kid's a stud. He's an absolute beast. It sucks. He's going to Duke. It's the worst thing ever, but he's an absolute stud. And he's the type of talent, whereas you don't really have that necessarily like where Zach Edey, right? He doesn't fit because he's too big or slow or he doesn't fit this NBA. There's no like, again, no Wemby, but Cooper Flag is a name. If he does a one and done, he's a name that will drive, attendance and viewership to the NBA draft. They don't have that this year. So when you ask that question to me, it's really hard for me to be like, okay, here's like last year it was like, we know who number one is. Then the fun starts because you don't know who's going to be your next 8, right? And then it kind of gets a little, that's where it gets fun. But it's just not a slam dunk draft. It really isn't.
And where we sit at 30, what do you think the Celtics do? Do they hire Belichick for the night and we trade out of it, or what do we do?
Belichick's dog. He can just monitor things. No, I don't think they trade out of it. I think they will. I honestly think they will use the pick. If there's some crazy stuff going down and Brad gets a crazy trade offer or something, maybe, but he's not going to break up the top 7, right?
No,
now that we know Al's coming back, so you've got, everyone locked up. Obviously, the 2 J's are locked up. Porzingis is locked up. Holiday is locked up. I think I mentioned Al. You got Peyton Pritchard locked up. Derek White's locked up. You know what I mean? So you got your top 7 players. You're probably going to lose. Hauser's still here on a team option, so they'll probably bring him back. And then you have Cornette, I think is might go away. So maybe you try to get some more size, or you lost already. O'Shea Brissett said he's not going to sign his player option. So do you try to replace him with another wing?
That doesn't mean he doesn't come back though, right?
He just didn't want to. Exactly. Yeah. They could renegotiate his contract or negotiate with him, but he's just an unrestricted free agent basically. So yeah, I mean, and so is Cornette. So, they lost some size. They did lose some size. So they try to get – there's a couple of power forward. There's one kid from Tennessee, another one from Vanderbilt, both Tennessee schools. But and then there's – then the kid from Creighton that everyone thinks they're going to take. But I don't know.
So
I think they will – sorry, go ahead, Adam.
No, I was just going to say Brad said today that Porzingis may not start the season. So, depending on this surgery. So – who knows what they do, because if you let Cornette go, like Scotty said, you really do need size. I mean, you can't, Al Horford turned back the clock in a big way. Is he going to be able to do that again this year? Now, I don't know what their contract status is of Neemias Queta. Do you know what the contract status is for him? Because he was a solid regular season contributor last year.
He was, and he's got a team option.
Okay. All right.
Yep, he's got a team option. Obviously, they still have Jordan Walsh, right?
Yep.
Tillman's a free agent. Brissett's gone. They still have a team option on Springer, obviously Hauser, and then the gentleman you just spoke of. But they still have Walsh, and then after that, it's pretty much it. Right, so you have there's nobody else that's really gonna stick around. So you do need to fill out the rest of the roster, so to speak. But I mean, again, you're 7 deep, at least 7-8 deep with Hauser. If you bring, what I mean, which in theory, I mean, it's a $2 million team option for Sammy Hauser. Fucking yeah,
hell yeah, you take that. It's so interesting too. Is when Denver won 2 years ago. People were like, well, they're gonna bring it back, and they didn't. They didn't bring back everybody. They let what's his name, Brown go, and a couple other pieces that they let go, and that really hurt them in the playoffs because they just didn't have those guys that they trusted that could knock down shots in a tough situation. And the Celtics are in such a better place than the Nuggets were to repeat because they, like Scotty said, they just still will bring back their depth. Are we going to be missing a few small pieces around the edge? Sure, maybe, but we're bringing back all of our depth. So there's not a lot for us to do. We'll have to fill out those roster spots if we lose Brissett, if we lose Cornette, but the core group is coming back, and I think that bodes pretty well for us.
And it's funny you mentioned the Nuggets because the kid Baylor, I found his name, Baylor Shireman. I can't pronounce it. Anyway, the kid from Creighton, his draft comparison is Christian Braun.
Oh, really?
From Denver.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So he's 6'6", 6'8" wingspan. The kid can play. He can absolutely play, and he's ready to play now. Guys. He's one of those types of guys. So we do.
Yeah.
We do. You got Jordan Walsh, who's 6'8", you know what I mean, already.
Right.
But I mean, so it wouldn't be a terrible thing to bring him on. But
also Jordan Walsh got some really good minutes last year in Maine. I know the G League's different, but
they went to the
got a lot of good
championship.
minutes. Yeah, I know.
We're not going to talk about that. Billy, you're going to be upset if they take Filipowski because he's going to be near the bottom of the. He's a power forward from Duke, by the way.
So I'm looking. I don't know a lot of the college names, but I'm just looking for size. What do you think of Baycut?
He's a good player. I like him. I
would like someone like that. Like bring someone because definitely like Cornette might not be there, and Porzingis could miss some time. So
a lot of them.
I'm just looking to get some size for center. And I don't know why they like Kada when he played very well, and he got out of the rotation down the end.
Well, he struggled on defense. He could clean up the glass a little bit, but he struggled. He stayed out of the rotations on defense because I don't know. He just didn't. I don't know if he's a year away or something or 2 years away, but he just didn't. He couldn't keep up with the pace and make all the switches that the Celtics love to do. So
I know it's nitpicking at this point, but watching Tatum on was it Gafford, the center for Dallas, I was like, that he couldn't really defend him very well. And I'm like, throw Cater in, throw Cornette in, throw someone, just have size there because he definitely was too big for Tatum to handle.
I love Rubber Shoes. I love how you're like nitpicking the championship. I was like, we just won the championship 4-1, and you're like screw Tatum. Tatum can't defend. Like, what the hell is going on?
He was defending a center.
And he did pretty well. I mean, what did Gafford have? One good game the whole series, and not even barely one good game. I think in Game 4 he was. I mean, everybody was good in Game 4 for Dallas, but I mean, I thought Tatum Tatum was like an elite defender in the finals. I thought personally against everybody that he played against.
Sammy Hauser to me was the most impactful or surprisingly impactful player in the finals on defense. I don't 100%. Think I saw Sammy play better defense all in his entire career whether it's at Wisconsin or through to the regular season and playoffs. He played anytime he had a switch. It didn't matter who he was on. He played so well against Luka, Kyrie, some of the bigs. Like he was, absolutely, and was just everywhere. I mean, he didn't lose a tooth or whatever like Derek White. But,
well, from a size standpoint, he matched up really well against Dallas, which we all did. I mean, the whole team did. So, but Hauser was great. Did you see him boot and reload in the parade?
Yeah, God bless him.
You
didn't see that, Timmy?
I didn't see it. Puke. No, I had it. I mean, I had it on in my office, and I was obviously like checking on it, and I was waiting for Pritchard to be nude first, but he didn't get that either. No, I didn't. I didn't see
Sammy
that.
lost his shirt first too.
Yeah, he was all over it. Scotty, just so we can keep up.
He's having a kid in like 3 seconds. He knows this is the only time to come.
This is his last hurrah.
Parties. Put your shirt on, Dad. Put your shirt on. Scotty, what were you drinking before? You just made a switch mid-show. I'm just trying to. What were we having before?
A beer named Duck.
Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
I love that. Beer chicken. All right, really, and what are you drinking now? What did you just switch to?
Just a summer. I switched to a summer.
He's trying to open it so gingerly. Like
I know that was hysterical.
Well, no, I just didn't want to interrupt. There was a conversation going on, and I just wanted to switch, but I didn't want to.
But you did it right next to the mic too, though. You did it quietly, but right next to the mic. You're like,
oh, could you hear that? See, I
the probability that Rubbish Shoes is going to shit himself is imminent. Like, we're not worried about decorum or background noise at this point. Yeah. We could have a full medical in the next 10 minutes.
They were going at it. I just didn't want,
we have a fifth camera in Rubbish Shoes' toilet, so we're good.
No. At that point, I leave the show. At that point, I'm out.
The trail cam.
At that point, I go grab my Detroit Pistons jersey and I leave the company.
Oh. Yeah. Is that from the 04 Pistons or the 86
Before we jump
Pistons?
Off the Celtics, I don't even know what other topic we're going to do. Can we just go back a couple fucking weeks here?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you didn't get a chance to talk about it, so you should go.
Yeah.
There is no goddamn way that Marcus Smart will ever have his jersey retired in the rafters. Adam, we got to talk about this, man. Like, I've been holding on to this for like 2 weeks plus, man. Like, were you drinking the Duck? Like, what were you doing? Like, what? Like, why would you think that was gonna? What?
You got 100%.
How do you think
it will
that?
100% happen? Listen, he is
For
going
what
to
because
first of all, he was one of the most beloved Celtics of the last decade. I don't think anybody can argue that.
Ring.
Yeah, didn't wear a ring. That's true, but contributed heavily to this current ring, right? I mean, doesn't mean he gets a ring.
He didn't. No, he didn't. You know why?
Yes, he did.
0%.
Helped with the development of Brown and Tatum.
Oh my God!
Come on.
Where did he? It doesn't matter. That doesn't matter.
It so matters,
bro.
It matters, dude.
I think he kept them back.
Oh, Rubbish Shoes. You think Tatum is holding them back?
No,
I don't know if I'd go that far.
I think him being in the room, Brown and Tatum wouldn't step up and take that as their team. Marcus was taking shots that he thought he was the number one guy shooting at the end of the game. When he left, this became Tatum and Brown's team 100%. They didn't have to fight with Marcus Smart in the locker room.
When he left, they added Porzingis and they added Drew Holiday. It's not that all of a sudden Tatum and Brown became amazing leaders. They added two gigantic pieces. But go ahead, Timmy.
If there were a podcast award show,
please,
we wouldn't be invited. But in a different universe, if there were a podcast award show and we won best show, Corey gets a trophy. If episode
100%.
166 gets best episode, Corey doesn't get a trophy.
I don't know. Listen, I'm not saying he should get a ring. I'm not saying he should get a trophy. I'm not saying he should get a ring or a trophy. I don't think that. But I'm saying that he is one of the most beloved Celtics in a decade when we went to 6 Eastern Conference finals. We went to 1 finals. Like, give me a break.
People who are Celtics have rings, and their numbers are not in the rafters.
Not every Celtic has a ring. Not every Celtic.
Clearly, and they're not in the Raptors.
Reggie Lewis. That was.
I know. Rubber Shoes thinks they should bring down Reggie Lewis's freaking number from the rafters. Come on, let's be honest.
No, he died on the court, man. Like, you can't do that.
Thank you. Agreed.
Rubber Shoes wants to replace it with a Shop at Modell's banner.
Also,
go ahead. Yeah.
Also, like he was the future. Like, to him, him and Len Bias should have been. We should have been hanging, banner number. We should have 25. You know what I mean? From last couple of nights ago, or whatever it was.
All right, so let's say I could see
Al Jefferson. Should Al Jefferson get his freaking, because he was traded for the big three? I mean, come on. What? I don't know, Garnett. I mean,
Al Jefferson.
He was a part of it.
While we're here, Dana Barros,
keep part
going.
Of them getting that going. 08 banner.
Dana Barros.
Listen. Here's the deal. All right, let's say I concede Marcus Smart. You've got to give me Al Horford. You've got to give me Al Horford. You want to say ring? He's got a ring. You want to say contributor?
More time in Atlanta than he has in Boston.
So what? KG did too. KG spent more time in Minnesota.
I agree with you there. KG should not be in the rafters. KG should not be in the rafters. He shouldn't.
Oh my God.
Anything is possible.
What about Dennis Johnson? Should Dennis Johnson be in the rafters? Should DJ be in the rafters? He played way more in Seattle than he played in Boston. Should he be in the rafters? That one's more debatable than Garnett, because DJ played here longer than Garnett did. Right? So I don't know. Garnett played for 5 years here. DJ was
titles.
6, I think.
Didn't DJ get 2 titles?
He did.
Yeah, okay, but he wasn't. DJ wasn't exactly number 1 on the team. He was not to disparage DJ. I love DJ, but he was number 4 or 5 on the team. He wasn't number 1 or 2 or 3.
He was the number 1 defender. He was one of the best defensive guards in basketball. But
KG was the number 1 defender on the Celtics.
Not.
He was defensive player of the year when he was here.
In what year? The championship year?
In 2008. I thought he was.
No, he missed a bunch of time because he punched himself in the chest way too many times and it hurt his freaking back. But
are we going to have to get one of the fact checkers here that are going to be on tomorrow night?
Fact checker.
Was that tomorrow night?
No, Rubber Shoes and Adam are very excited about the debate.
Oh, I'm excited about it.
Can't wait.
Debate?
I can't wait for my man to be drugged up on the debate. I can't wait for it.
She's so juiced up. It's gonna be wonderful.
By the way, KG was the defensive player of the year in 08. I knew I remembered. He was the 2008 defensive player of the year.
That's kind of shocking. I think that's a weak.
Hey, you can't argue with the voters.
Did you check that on Snopes or Nopes?
All I'm saying is I don't think you put Marcus Smart in there. You might have a case for Horford, but it's not. I don't think it's a great case. I guess when you look at the players that have been retired, right?
Yep.
Multiple rings. Now, if Al wins, let's say they go back to back.
Yeah.
And Al's a part of that, and they go back to back. Argument over, right? Absolutely, put him up there. Call it a day.
Okay.
I have no problems with that. Smart's not a part of any of those, right? He's not coming back. If anything, he might even go to Houston tonight. Don't be surprised if that happens, if they can't swing the KG thing, or KG, Jesus Christ, KD. Kevin Durant KD thing. I got Garnett on my mind. But
KG's not walking through that door.
Exactly. I don't think you can put Smart in the same conversation as those guys that are up there. Look, fan favorite, love him to death. He was a great Boston Celtic for what he was. Defensive player of the year, right? Yep. Which he did. Yep. He won defensive player of the year and totally earned that, even though Bam Adebayo, still cries to this day in his little pillow. But at the same time, I don't think you can say he was a part of this championship team when he was on a separate team. Those are
no, I don't say that. I don't say that.
Dude.
No, I said he contributed to them getting to the finals. You can contribute. Why do you think one of the first things that Mazzulla said when he was on the stage was, we dedicate this championship to the people who came before us, including the players who couldn't quite get it done? That's what he said, because he knows that the people that came before contributed to the win.
Sucked and they couldn't win.
Okay.
But there's so many. It's a large umbrella. That's a large umbrella. I think
you would have to retire like I said before, you would have to retire Trot Nixon's number in Fenway. Because that's but at least he won a championship.
So that's not a good comparison. Give me somebody that hasn't won a championship.
That was a hard-nosed guy, great character guy in the clubhouse, just not an all-star, not a Hall of Famer.
Did Trot Nixon ever get a Gold Glove? I don't know.
Isn't Yaz's number retired?
Probably
27 is up there.
So.
Yes.
Yep. Yaz. Probably
who says you have to wear a ring to be retired?
Before Big Papi, probably the second best Red Sox of all time.
Wait, how about this?
I'll give you a name, Adam. Mike Brunansky.
Okay, I don't know the name. I don't know the name.
He contributed.
The joke's on me. Listen, Shaq just got his number retired in Orlando. He did not win a championship there. Should he have gotten his number retired in Orlando?
It's Orlando. Oh, you can't fuck. Are you kidding me? You're gonna bring in the Orlando Magic?
I'm saying yes.
He's probably the only number retired there.
I'm not comparing them to the Boston Celtics.
Penny,
I'm just saying your argument is that he has to win a championship.
I didn't. No.
That's what you did say. You said you pointed to your finger and you said he doesn't have a ring.
He doesn't have a ring.
I know, and then you said he can't be retired because he doesn't have a ring.
Okay. You know what? I'll take that back. Yes, and I agree with that when it comes to the Boston Celtics.
Okay.
That he doesn't have a ring. He should not be up there unless he died on the court. Sorry, Billy.
Oh.
I mean, that's totally different.
Sorry, Billy, or sorry, Reggie.
Both. But right. I think that's the way.
So we can agree that Horford goes back to back. Horford goes up in the rafters.
I agree. There's an argument to be made. Yes.
Okay. All right. We'll have the discussion again in a year, hopefully.
I hope so too. I guess with the Garnett thing, and
he is most likely definitely a Hall of Famer because I
would think so.
Unlike the Baseball Hall of Fame, they let a lot of people into Springfield.
Well, also, it's not a professional basketball Hall of Fame. It's the Basketball Hall of Fame. So he won 2 championships in college, another championship in the NBA. I would think that he would be a Hall of Famer.
Al's been successful almost everywhere he's been, and where given the opportunity. I mean, I don't consider like the Philadelphia and the Oklahoma City. Those stints were just horrible for him. They just didn't. It didn't fit.
Yep.
Just didn't fit. But outside of that, yeah, he's been a winner. And again, if he gets another one, then yes. But the difference is that from an Al perspective, like if let's say they don't win next year, the only reason you may not put him up there is because he wasn't the top player on the team, and neither was Smart. Even when the time he was here, he was never like the top. And to Billy's point, he played like he tried to play like he was, but he was never like the top, 3 or 4 guy, or I'd say top 3 guy. There were always other options, whether it was Kyrie or Gordon Hayward or whatever, or Jaylen Brown or whatnot. So I don't know. It's just one of those things. I don't think unless Smart comes back and wins a ring, I don't see him ever getting up there.
I think Kyrie contributed more to this championship than Marcus.
Oh my God.
I would rather see you take a shit in the bathroom right now, sir, than you repeat that again. No, he did. Well, actually, you know what? Actually,
I was getting killed. You're getting killed for that one.
He didn't show up in Boston for 3 games.
Oh my God! Come on,
you're not wrong. Actually, he's not wrong.
Get out of here.
I was wrong. I take it back.
Out of here.
He played so bad in the finals. He kind of gifted us a ring.
Oh my God!
Yeah. Oh, now we got gifted a ring. You guys are as bad as the national media. Come on! You guys are awful. We got gifted it. No Giannis. No Giannis. We didn't have to go through Embiid. We didn't have to go through Butler. No Donovan Mitchell.
None of us are saying any of that. I'm not saying that.
Half a Halliburton, half a Donovan Mitchell.
Yeah, we've heard it all before.
Any of that. I'm not saying any of that because I'll tell you right now, the Celtics went. If you look back, there were a lot of championship teams that played a lot less talented teams, including your Los Angeles Lakers. You know, in 1987, that the Los Angeles Lakers got to the NBA Finals.
I love that.
Playing 2 teams out of the 3 that were under 500.
Wow.
garbage.
So I don't think they should have retired Magic's
now,
number.
Of course, they beat the Celtics in 6 games that year, which was also the Celtics' 4th straight NBA Finals appearance, and they were all banged up and
that's
beat up. Whatever.
So it always seemed like a lot of times, like the Jordan years, everyone's like, look who he beat in the finals, but look who he had to beat to get to the finals. Like they're like, oh well, LeBron played harder games in the finals. I'm like, yeah, but he had a lot easier road to get to the finals than Jordan did.
Let's be honest. Let's be honest about this. Can we just put this to rest? These are all NBA players. All right, they're NBA players.
That's why
granted, okay. I mean, you look at the Pacers, right? The Pacers have no big name stars. Like Halliburton was out. They still play really hard, and they still are really good players. They made it to the NBA. I mean, Aaron Nesmith is a good player. I think, what's his name? His name's Evan Turner.
If the Celtics won against the Houston Rockets, it would be the same.
100%. 100%. I mean, the Mavs were a 5 seed. Like, should that diminish beating them 4-1? No. They were playing with two stars and a bunch of role guys.
Well, what drives me nuts about the whole narrative is when the NBA Finals began, the Celtics were playing against the best backcourt in NBA history.
Exactly.
And then when they got down 2-0, everyone's like, well, it's Luka and everyone else. Whereas Luka can't do this by himself. I'm like,
yep.
What? Like 5 days ago, actually probably like 3 weeks ago, I should say, because it took that long to get the final started. You were just saying it was like the best backcourt in NBA history, and they had like the great supporting cast with Lively, and they were throwing oops, and everyone was, what I mean?
The majority of the national broadcasters were picking Dallas to win the finals.
Everyone picked Dallas, yeah. But I don't know.
We shall return on June 26th of next year to discuss Al Horford getting raised into the rafters as one of the
my God.
That is my Nostradamus for the day.
I love that.
I like it.
Yeah, and Scotty, I don't know if you're here for the show in the last couple of weeks. At some point, I made my outlandish Nostradamus prediction. I believe that the Celtics will get to banner number 20 before the Lakers get to 18.
I did hear that. Yes,
I'm
like
putting that out into the ether, which I don't know how that was.
Well, JJ Redick,
I did.
JJ Redick, great head coach history of coaching his 4th grade daughter's basketball team before he's the head coach. I think it's like the 29th head coach in Los Angeles Lakers history. So,
dude, I'm sure he'll be able to so asleep at the wheel on that whole thing. The last time I knew he was doing anything, obviously sitting next to Doris doing ESPN, I get that. I don't have an issue with him, but I thought his last podcast was Old Man in the 3. I didn't realize he buried that, and he's been doing the thing with LeBron as of late.
No, he's got both of them going. He has both of them going. I don't think he buried
Not anymore.
Yeah.
Now that he's the head coach, but yeah.
So this will be interesting. I mean, how do you so obviously Scotty just put his 4 cents on the table. Like, you think this is a mess?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
It's the Lakers. Of course it's a mess.
And I'm here for it. I hope it's a mess. I mean, I don't want to upset Radio Raheem down there in the corner. I know he's probably dusting off his shirt, but I mean, honest to God. Raheem. Yeah, shits McGee. How you doing over there, Francis? Oh, Moses.
Oh, man. No, it's the JJ Redick thing's a mess. I mean, I could tolerate his podcast, but let's be honest. Are we really going to deal with him as the head coach of the Lakers for more than a year? No, it's probably not going to happen. I'd be shocked if he goes more than a year.
JJ, hi, it's LeBron. You're here to call timeouts when I tell you to call timeouts.
Oh, my God. Oh my God!
That sounds probably about right. That's probably what's going to happen.
So good. But what I would love, I don't think there's the connective tissue on that team to get it done. But I would love to see this version of our Celtics get back to a final with Los Angeles. The whole country would love it, Nope. But they don't have. What do you mean? Nope. You'd be too conflicted. What was that?
I would no. That's my problem. I don't want LeBron James anywhere near another finals.
No, I appreciate that, but it'd be fun to exit him.
No.
The one thing I will say about all this coverage of the parade and the Celtics march to 18 and all this is my favorite thing is when they do like a vignette of Tatum they always show the dunk that he did on LeBron, where he goes up and like bumps his chest. It's like one of the all-time best like young NBA players. Like, I'm here, I'm ready to do this. Like one of the best things ever. And they showed it over and over again. Huh?
He was 20 years
I know,
old.
Super young.
Years old. And, yeah, Eastern Conference Finals. Great moment.
So
I loved when that happened.
When do we expect all of the contracts for the Celtics get dialed in? Like, obviously in the next 48 hours, we make our couple of picks, dust settles. If we don't make any movement, because it doesn't seem like there's any movement to get made, Mazzulla's got a contract coming. Cassell was rumored to go join LA's staff, but he's staying put. Is that still hold true? Yes.
Yeah.
They've got to step up and pay Derek White, right? He's due to get. Can they wait on that?
Well, he
Can
still
they
has a
drag their
year
heels
on
that?
his deal.
No, he has 1 year
still has a
left, so he's locked in. It's not a team or player option. It's just he's locked in for next year.
Okay.
And the because of the type of contract he has, it'll be really hard to extend him because of the type of hit that he would take to the salary cap.
Okay.
So I don't think you'll see them extend White. They can extend Tatum. They can give him the max this summer if they wanted to, right? Which would be,
do you think they'll wait?
Even more than Jaylen Brown's max. So Jaylen Brown got 320 or something like that, or 310 or whatever it was.
305 maybe.
Yeah, 305. Yeah, something ridiculous.
Yeah.
And Tatum could actually get, I think, like another like 30 million above that, something ridiculous. So, yeah, so he'll and obviously what they're waiting for, again, I'm gonna say it again, they're waiting for that second apron to drop and see what the TV deal looks like, and then you'll start to see some contracts getting inked.
Okay. All right.
Can I just before we wrap on the Celtics, have you guys seen the final episode of All In? Amazing. If you haven't seen it yet, you got to go to YouTube and check it out. It's like 25 minutes long. If you're watching it on YouTube, they show like 400 commercials mixed in between it, but it's definitely worth watching. Very well done. And a good final way to celebrate the 24 championship. Not that any of us will be at the Garden. Well, Rubber Shoes might get tickets to the Garden for the banner ceremony, but I probably won't. So, but it's definitely worth watching.
He has steak tip preference. I'm sure he'll weasel his way in. Joe and Leslie will be like, you know what?
You did such a great job in that commercial. We're going to give you some tickets to the banner ceremony.
God Almighty!
By the way, I want to also can I also mention one other thing? Sorry, I'm dragging this thing on. Commissioner's Cup was last night. Got to weasel in the WNBA minute, but Minnesota Lynx won the Commissioner's Cup. Great game. If you didn't see it, definitely worth watching the highlights. And I will say I love the WNBA, but their trophy presentation game is the absolute worst. They have the ugliest trophies. The commissioner of the league is awful. The sideline reporter is terrible. It just was not impressive. But other than that, the game was great, and it's definitely worth checking out the highlights. And the Lynx are going to be something to mess with this season.
I'll watch that right after I watch LeBron winning his.
Oh my God!
Oh jeez.
So angry. It's all the Imodium MD
rename it
system.
Pointless Cup.
Is that like their version of the in-season tournament?
In-season, yes. Yeah. Oh. They actually did it before the NBA. I'm not saying they had the idea. I'm just saying theirs started 4 years ago.
They're allowed to have the idea. They're both terrible. Terrible ideas.
Terrible.
Yes.
Yeah, they're both terrible. So, yeah.
Terrible.
Still love Pierce calling out the Lakers. Like, did you see that? Anybody else see that? Pierce called them out and said, we're going to hang a real banner. Lakers can hang their in-season tournament banner.
Oh my God, I love it. I love it.
If we win
so
that, we're going
much.
to use that for a carpet. We'll use it for a throw rug or whatever.
I love that.
They can hang real banners here.
I love when all that was going on with the parade. It was so great to see, all the senior citizens marching around. Eddie House at the dais with NBC Sports Boston.
Amazing.
Hat on, cigar in his teeth, and just like he was so amped up and so excited. It was that was I had the sound down the whole day. I just had it on the TV here while I was working, but it was just fun to watch, like everybody be so amped up.
Well,
and
he was just yelling out at people too. Like somebody would walk by and he'd
come
be like,
on over,
hey, come on over.
Yeah,
you know,
and then
he's
like
some drunk uncle.
It if you want to come over and watch it.
And then good for you, Shirley. And then two females pop out of nowhere like a magic trick, and one of them's like running for City Hall, and they're talking, they're like fluent Spanish, and Phil from NBC Sports Boston's like, okay, and he like keeps looking at he's waiting for the producer to like do anything to cut to something else. I was going to ask you guys too. It was obvious. We used to always get. Especially when he was with NBC Sports Boston and doing stuff with them, KP would always be in his, and I don't mean Tingus Pingus, or Pingus Tingus. What do we call him? Pingus Tingus or Tingus Pingus? Tingus Pingus, yeah. So Kendrick Perkins would always be in his throne when he was on NBC Sports Boston. Obviously, he's made the move over to ESPN, the other evil empire, because everybody there hates Boston. And
including him.
What's that?
Including him.
Yeah, he was ripping on it, and I thought it was interesting, the interview that took place earlier in the week with Scal talking about, will he, where like everybody rolls back through now, is he going to be welcome to sort of hang around the campus with everything that he said during this postseason, and is he persona non grata now? Will we ever see him marching around or on a future duck boat next June, the June after that, whatever? What are your thoughts with how much he sort of pushed himself away from the table?
He was on Felger and Maz yesterday.
Okay.
Explained all the stuff because everyone thinks he got, canceled from NBC Sports, but he didn't. He last year with his ESPN schedule, he had to miss a lot of games because of scheduling conflicts. So they just decided to part their ways this year because it was going to be too tough for him to get on as much as they wanted him on.
Okay.
And he's like, I didn't get an invitation to go to the parade. I was unable to go anyway, but they did not reach out to me. I don't know if, but he doesn't think he's been barred from the Garden. He's a little upset with Scal, because he went on shows and ripped him because he didn't call him back.
Call him a coward.
Yeah, right. And Scal was at the 3-on-3, the Big 3 tournament thing last weekend. I think once they talk, they're going to be fine. It's, but he called out Perk, and Perk tried to reach out to talk to him, and Scal ghosted him, apparently.
Interesting. All right.
Well, Perk has already lucky turns. Basically, he was on the Mark Jackson podcast either last night or earlier today or whatever it was, and talking about like Celtics fans are, sensitive, and it wasn't just me that wasn't at the 08 or from the 08 team that was there, and
11 other guys, there
was a bunch of other guys that weren't there, and I shouldn't be called out, and there's no reason for them to be mad at me, and I'm like, dude, you compared our head coach's brain to a bird and said it would fly backwards. And also on top of that, you were the first. He's like, he said this on the podcast, I've never been critical of the two J's.
No,
you were the biggest full of like, what are you talking about? You were the first one to say marriage is over, break them up.
Yep.
What do you like? What Perk? Internet. The end. Like, I don't know how else to say that. Yeah. Like, what are you doing? Yep. Like, you can't walk back and say you didn't say something when everyone has proof. You know what I mean? It's kind of obnoxious. And I will say, if Scal is legitimately ducking him, that's kind of not cool. But at the same time, Scal didn't say anything that probably isn't true. I'm sure Grossbeck and the others over in ownership, go ahead. We don't need you. We don't want you, especially the things that he said. You say these things about the organization, you expect to be back with open arms about our head coach, about our 2-star. Like, come on. And then now you're saying, I didn't say anything about them. Look, you need to be impartial. That's fine. You need to talk shit. That's fine. But there's times where you take it above and beyond, and then you start talking shit about the fan base. You talk shit about the 2 stars and the head coach.
Right.
And I mean, come on, man. And now you're like,
Brooke
oh, no,
took
it's
a real
real
heel
the whole
turn.
time. No, you weren't, you Muppet. You know.
Oh my God. Oh my God. All right. Well, we'll be back at it. We'll have more Red Sox because they'll still be
Linus
doing well.
Helmick
Be nice. Be nice, everybody.
Traded.
Oh, we didn't talk about that real quick. Yes. Do you think they got Allmark
Exactly.
at Delta Ottawa? Allmark at Delta Ottawa.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, I did see that.
Yeah. Well, so question for you before we jump out of here, Rubber Shoes. Do you think that was a mistake because we did that within our does that not make sense to send him to a rival? Or do you not care about that?
They had to get rid of him, and he had 16 teams on his no trade clause. Or
oh boy.
Whatever
Okay, I didn't realize that.
So they had to get rid of him, and by how much they took back, besides the number one draft, I mean not the number one, the first round draft pick, they took back a lot of money on a crappy goalie. So they had to get him out of here just because the Hugs isn't going to work anymore.
Right.
Jeremy Swayman's definitely the number one.
Yep.
And Allmark is a number one, but you can't have them both anymore. It was fun while we got Jeremy Swayman going. It's not going to work anymore.
Yep.
So they had to get rid of him. Some people were saying maybe they waited too long because other goaltenders were starting to get traded. And
Yeah.
they kind of had to do if they wanted a draft pick in Friday night's draft, they had to get it done this week. So they had to do what they had to do.
Yeah, probably could.
Didn't really help that
sooner.
I think that they're going to sign Swayman for more money. It's probably going to be a wash as far as between Swayman and Allmark's salary cap hit.
The money, yep.
With this guy, so it's probably going to be a wash. They didn't gain anything, but they still have a pretty good amount of room underneath the cap. So there should be some dealings this summer that they'll be able to make some new signings because probably Jake DeBrusk is probably gone. So that's another hole. So one of the players that they received is a center. He's like a third or fourth line center that wins face-offs. So that's a good guy to have. And the little bit I read on him, they think that he will be a fan favorite. So he's the type of guy that the Bruins fans will enjoy. So, but they had to do that. They had to get rid of Allmark and just move forward with Swayman.
Yeah. Well, you said the cash is a wash, but he did have a huge contract. But no longer debating who the number one is, which is important. And Scotty's happy because he's a Maina. He's a Maina. All right, we'll get back to it. Rubber Shoes is going to be full medical for the next 48 hours. So, we would love a
Glad
trail
you made it
cam.
through the show, Rubber Shoes.
There'll be less than 24 hours left.
We would love a trail cam. We want full audio visual. Yeah, we'll send the files off to Scotty.
I don't want that.
The rest of his dinner. Yeah, you should have got the wife a hotel. I can't believe she's going to be in there in a hazmat suit marching
Well, the
around your
problem
house.
is we have a very old house that only has one bathroom.
Lucky lady.
She's going to be going down to the circle.
Again, lady. Marry him again.
She's going to be going down to Hafner's in downtown Lowell to poop in the middle of the night.
Good
God
thing
bless
the sun, Tyler's not going to be home until like midnight. So
you'd be testing those pipes. You'd be testing those pipes. All right, for Corey, who wasn't here, so he won't get a trophy. For Uncle Dukes, Adam, Rubber Shoes, Colin, the medical team that will deal with Rubber Shoes, Colin, and for Timmy, we are the ATB Show. We appreciate you watching. Please subscribe and like
I'm still in here.
and share, and we'll see you on the other side. Rubber Shoes will be sitting down to pee and flush. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.